Lucky Sixes. Good evening, man.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
All is good here. I'm very happy to have this online adventure with you tonight. It has been a century since we last been on a channel together, right? What happened?
I know. It's right. Life and trying to avoid you all that time. It's I've finally given in. That's what it is.
I've been trying to corner you for a number of weeks, and everybody avoids me around the equinox time, so it's understandable. I get that.
Exactly. No, we've got me and Hyper G have lots of birthdays in July, but also we've been very busy getting back to real life and stuff like that as well. And
I've seen that on your channel. Yeah, there's a couple of videos from Real Gaming.
Yeah, which is cool. And we started doing some shorts as well, so we're hoping that we can get some more, I guess, like insights to the PTG world, if you will.
Wow.
But yeah, I guess I do actually have some news that you don't even know about as a thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I want to hear.
But again, part of the busyness, I've just been appointed one of the ETC England selectors for the England team. So
wow.
I'm really excited for that. I'm a UK community rep as well. So yeah, we're it's all going on. It's all going on, mate.
That is excellent. So what does that entail for people who are not familiar with the ETC?
So yeah, obviously ETC is the thing where all the countries come together, play all the things. There's one just gone actually, isn't there? And every year they do it. For being a selector for England team, I get to sort of pick and choose the England who plays, and sort of we discuss sort of players and the armies, sort of the England want and things like that, and play styles, etc. And part of me being a part of it, I guess, is that I've sort of wrangled for a bit of, what do you call it, visibility and stuff as well. So we're going to be getting some interviews with the selection committee, with the players, and doing a few videos and a bit of insight on anybody that doesn't really know about ETC, team tournaments, team selections, all that jazz. We're going to try and do some explanation videos with the people that do. So anybody that wants to, have a look at what it takes to, and what goes on behind the scenes of selecting a team, going to ETC, and all that jazz, will hopefully have in the very near future. So.
That's bloody interesting. But so does that mean that there is no chance that you will be playing with the team yourself? Is that a
well, well, I can put myself forward, but obviously other people need to vote for me, which is where my application probably goes down.
They would be crazy not to get you in.
Exactly.
It's if they're doing that, then I don't know who selected the selectors, because that's amazing.
But you know what? I'm happy to step down if it gives other people a chance. Let's say I'm doing that.
Nice, classic. All right, brilliant. So I look forward to seeing more about that in the on the PTG channel. You just go to YouTube, guys, and type in Proxy Table Gaming, and you will find all the crazy things that Lucky Sixes and Hyper G and sometimes Goppo are doing for the channel. Sweet, nice.
But yeah, enough of hijacking your thing for that.
No, that needs to be said, because actually this tonight, on the other hand, this shows how versatile Lucky Sixes is. I'm playing violin for him, because he can go from the ETC side to the complete opposite side. I think that the game that we're going to have tonight is the absolute opposite of any sorts of like tournament experience. And let me show you why and how. So you can see that there's this grey bag in at the center of the battlefield, and it says it's the chill play bag. And this is a reaction to a conversation that I've seen running on the forum on how to make games faster, but at the same time, how to slightly move the culture of the game towards something that's meant to be more, collaborative rather than competitive. Just have a good time playing, with the opponent rather than against the opponent. And so what I've done is I've put 7 tokens in here in this bag, and so you can take them out one by one, and we will see what are the principles again behind the game that we'll play tonight. So you can grab one.
I'm very excited. I'll tell you what, I am very excited. I'm normally excited for these anyway, but when you put some of this in, and now I'm going to do the whole TTS thing. Left drag. There we go. First one.
So that's number 1. So if you hover with the mouse over the token, it says, "Do not make comments on the odds of past dice rolls," because this is a big difference that you see between players who play a lot and players who play rarely. It's like, you know, when you roll whatever, like triple sixes, some people just take that as a normal thing to happen.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, does that mean we can't refer to me? Do I have to refer to myself as something else? I'm going to go to my Tom for the rest of the life.
You will have to speak about yourself in first person, something that you never do. Right. Normally, you're using the royal third person for yourself. So yeah, trying not to comment on rolls and be whining for the bad ones or being enthusiastic for the good ones. This is the second token. And this one is no plans. Do not make comments on the reasons behind your choices. And this is something that we see quite often with, not with tournament players, of course, who are not trying to give their game away. Sure. But in intro games and in friendly games, you would say, like, if I do this, then later on I can do that. And all this talking is kind of one of the things that slows down the game as well. It makes more like, understandable, but at the same time, it's getting in the way of the fast experience. Yeah. So let's get the third one. Go over it. This is a fun one.
No half inching. Do not use half inches for wheeling and advancing. You can use half inches for sidestepping and backward movements only.
Yeah, because when you are sidestepping, you move half of the advance rate. And for example, in the Beasters army, most have advance 5, and in the Dwarven army, some have advance 3. So you need that half inch of resolution there. But otherwise, when you are wheeling or advancing, it's only in 1 inch increments. And
all or nothing, baby.
Right? And what this does is that this removes the possibility of careful placement, and this makes the game much wackier, and you create something strange with the other person rather than playing carefully on your own side.
Yeah.
So this is kind of big, but this next one is perhaps even bigger.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Back to 7th. I love it.
Back to 7th, exactly. No measuring distances before declaring an action. So if you want to move your spellcaster 5 inches towards me, that's perfect, because you are moving 5 inches towards me, but you will not have a choice of measuring whether you are in the 24 inches range for your spell 2 phases down the line. You just do this by eye.
Awesome. No, I love that one. So are all these in play?
All of these are in play. Tonight we'll have all 7 in play, and of course, every now and then we can just forget about one of these, and we just take one token and we put it to the side to remember that we have made one of those. But
I like it.
The idea is that
be penalties.
Right, is that tonight we use them all to introduce the concept, and then later on when we play the game, maybe we decide, okay, we're going to draw 3 of those and we're going to apply penalties.
Yeah, sounds. I like it. So the next one, no backsies do not undo a unit's movement. And this is definitely from the last 16 months, isn't it? The computer age.
That has changed things a lot, right? It's like
much.
You really tend to just Control Z your way back into position. That shouldn't happen. Yeah. And I think that combined with no pre-measuring and combined with no half-inching, that means that there's going to be lots of placement mistakes. So if you get them right in this type of game, then you can rest assured that you're going to be highly effective when you can spend more time.
Yeah. That's good. I like
it feels a bit like, you know, running on sand, jogging on the beach when you are a soccer player, like a football player or something. So
and you're not Brazilian.
And yeah, you know, because for them they don't see it. Okay.
That's it.
All right, next one.
No double dipping. Do not interrupt a unit's movement to move another unit. Okay, cool. So once you've moved, that's it. You're done.
Yeah, and so there's no, oh, let me move the Minotaurs first. They have a total movement of, I don't know, let's say 12 inches, and I'm going to do 4, then I'm going to move another unit, and then I had 8 still available from my Minotaurs, so I'm going to continue that movement then, which is something that I see being done.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that.
And then, last one.
Last one
is this one. And
no statistics. Hyperg would not be happy. He would not be happy. Do not make comments on the odds of upcoming dice rolls. Or our stat rap, blimey. Oh. Yeah, yeah.
You know, the one that goes in.
That's a good one for me, to be fair, because I don't know the stats. So that's what a lot of people just tell me. And say, all right, yeah.
I think that there's a continuum that goes from people like you and Rob, RH World Building, and Rob, every time I talk about stats, he goes like, shut up with these stats, just like roll the dice. I was like, what's the point? It's taking the fun away. And on the other side, I said that it would be me and Hyper-G, like the two of us would really love to speak about those things. And
what's the percent?
This is more
cool. I
myself. Like it. Nice, excellent. So this is
great rules.
Introduction for the specific rules for this game. So let me go back into the chat for a second and say hello to That Music Writer, who is one of the newest additions to the Essence of War community. He's been playing plenty of games with Rob, and I would say that we are good to go. Excellent. So. I will be playing with the Infernal Dwarves, and you will be playing with Beastards, because I just decided like this.
Wonderful.
And you can, however, decide that you don't want to deploy the way that I just deployed right now. So it doesn't have to be like that. So this is just the way that the units are pre-positioned in the mods that you can download from Patreon. Yeah. But you know, you can take your units and then you can bring them back to your side of the battlefield.
You know, I'm happy.
You're happy. All right, excellent.
Absolutely. That should be another rule, I reckon.
Well, then in that case, I'm absolutely gonna position those back where they were. Totally.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely.
And then we're just gonna go with a roll off, and we're gonna see who goes first then. All right.
So we can't even talk. What the odds? No, sorry.
4 for me.
Right, here we go. Oh, right, there we go again. So consistent.
You go first. Excellent.
Here we go. Nice.
All right.
No, I like it. And can I just say I know I said I'm looking forward to this, but I really do love the Essence of War stuff. Especially all this stuff on TCS where. It looks amazing, man. It looks really cool. And you've got so many new... Every time I come on, which I know is like every 6 months, but like some of the new models you have are just astounding.
Yeah.
And these are all painted by other people, aren't they, frankly?
Exactly. This Taurok here, they're from Lost Kingdom, so they allowed us to put the models in. Thank you, Lost Kingdom, for that. But they're made by Frumius, and Frumius is from the 9th Forum, and I think that he's preparing some sort of crazy starter set for the 9th Age. This is amazing. So you know, you'll see these models in starter sets, and then there's the Admiralty miniatures. So the vassals, hobgoblins, and the prophet, the guards, and then we have these other models from Latmasu. And actually, people who want to start playing Beastards, they can go to this address. bit.ly/Latmasu.bh, and you can buy the entire starter set for Essence of War. With these are all metal miniatures, and they come with
metal as well. Oh, I didn't notice that.
They're metal. They come with cards. They come with tokens. They come with tokens for the spells. dice, measure tools. It's crazy. It's like everything you need to start to play with the Beast Third. So if you're a fan, visit the Blackmaster store. Definitely.
Yeah, no, so I'm excited, man, and I love it. I love it. I do actually I really like that. There's a few more Essence of War patrols being an official thing. That starting is really cool. It's really cool.
Good. No, it's gonna be, and now the Beast Thirds, they also have the army list, so you can play advanced games. You can create your own army. So probably next game is gonna be with that, because I know that you are a Beast Thirds connoisseur. So we want to use that.
Yeah. I've sent my my Beast Thirds off for commission as well, so we're getting all painted up.
Oh, nice.
So we might see them in IRL.
We'll see them in pretty version. Nice.
You should have. You should have no chatter. That would be in this chill play bag. This might not be a quick game just because we just talk.
I'm not gonna miss the chance for banter.
No,
with the 96s, man. Absolutely not gonna happen. We're gonna be fast in the movement phase, not in the chatting phase.
Yeah, sure. Right. So what have we got? So these mongrels.
So you remember that you can box select a unit, and then you can press 8 to go forward.
8 to go forward, but I need to change the. Where's the number?
Then you don't change the number because it's just 1 inches increment anyway.
Oh,
so
amazing.
you know, super simple.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
These guys can go 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they go 8. They go 8.
All right.
And these go. I mean, they just want to wheel. If I want to wheel to the right, is it 9 or 7?
To the right is 9. So the idea is that you look at the miniatures from behind, and so then if you want to go here, it's 7, and here it's 9.
Cool. So I've done that. So I've gone 1 the wrong way. So 2, 3, 4, because obviously we're not doing any undos. 5, 6, 7, 8. How close am I?
It's okay.
Right. 9, 10, 11, 12.
All right. Look at that.
There we go. Sorted.
It's in. Brilliant.
Absolutely smashed it.
Movement is done. Magic
exactly
phase.
What I wanted.
I love the no measurement. That's fun.
I really like it as well. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, magic. So
you can draw a flux card from over here.
Absolutely.
And F to flip it.
6
and 4.
6 and 4, baby. 6 and 4. So we've got Healing Waters and Master of Earth for people that not seen this before. So it's got to be 3 and 3. The 6 is fine. So we'll go 3 dice on Master of Earth on your shooter boys. If I'm in range. I'm in range. 18 inches. Let's hope. Let's hope.
18 and 8. Interesting. All right. Go for it.
So, 3. So, 9.
It's a 9. It's a 9. And if you're in range, that is interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, I might not be in range.
That is very interesting.
I don't know.
I think it's very close, and that's why I'm gonna let it go. Oh,
there we go. I could have gone an extra inch though. So I know I moved 8, didn't I? So maybe not. But yeah.
So we can now check.
How close is it? Yeah, let's now check.
So I can use tab on TTS to check if that's the case, and look at that, it's 18.
Literally that last inch. We're gonna do it.
Literally the last one.
Fate intervene. So yes, 9.
You have a D3 here that's waiting for you.
Yep. Oh, you see, you're letting it go, baby.
Yeah. I declared that I was letting it go before checking the distance, actually.
All right. Awesome. Well, there we go. So, right, let's roll a dice.
All right.
Is it +1 or just D3?
D3 plus 1. Yeah.
So it's 3 dice. Strength 4, AP 1. Looking for 3s, probably.
I'm res 4.
Yeah,
so
sure,
it's only the one, and I'm armor 3.
AP 1.
So it's 5 up.
Yeah. Good luck.
Ah, it's dead. We have a dead shooter.
The AP, nice.
Bloody
Blood. First blood, the beasts.
Well done.
And then we'll go 3 dice on Healing Waters on the Minos, of course.
Yeah.
A couple of 6s, please. Oh, I got 6. I'll take that. It's cast.
What's that? That's a 6. I can make it. I have 4 dice for this. I think I can make this.
No chance.
Look at that.
Definitely.
Oh, that wasn't a comment on the stats, all right? That doesn't count as a stats.
No, it wasn't. Yeah. I don't have any shooting in range anyway. Will Mongols have anything?
I think that range is not going to. Yeah. Because you only have.
I marched anyway. So.
And you marched. Yeah. All right.
Over to you, buddy. What a turn!
That's the turn. Excellent. So now, at least, you have used your 18 inches spell, so it looks like I know whether I'm in range or not.
Yeah.
From those dudes. That's interesting.
That's it.
And so I'm not gonna move those. Wait. What did I just do? Did I just make plans?
You talk about. No, you just said about how. I guess you are.
It's okay. All right. It's a first warning for me. All right. Let's put it as a first warning. So I'm
Strike 1. So 3 strikes in auto loss, right? That's what we're doing.
Let's do that. Three strikes for each of those. That's number 1 for me. All right. So no charges from my side, and all right. I'm gonna move the Tauruk. The Tauruk have movement 7. So marching, that's going to be a 14. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And that's it.
Oh, that inch is going to matter.
Let's do that. That's the one that makes the whole difference.
That's what she said. Sorry, I had to be done. I was going to do it on the half-inching actually, but I thought I won't.
That's why we said that. You don't do that with half-inch, because that's really like, who's going to believe that? Truly.
Yeah, right.
All right, then what about these other guys? This guy, they have movement. What movement they have? They have movement 3 because I joined the prophet to those. That was a strange move to make by myself, I guess. All right, so let's wheel a bit. Maybe 1 and 2 and 3, and I think that's it. Not gonna do anything else. So that's gonna be movement. So we can go to magic, and I can shuffle and draw and flip, and that's a 6v4. Is that the same you got? All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I got a silver spike. I got silver spike. I like silver spike. That's an interesting one. Corruption of tin embodied. Okay, so let me check. No, corruption of tin is actually crap when you're playing against beastards. But we're not going to talk
you can have it.
about that
I'll let it go.
Yeah, right. Well, so since you shared with me your plans,
one.
let's say that I'm just gonna 5 dice a silver spike on your Minos, right?
Good luck.
Let's do that. All right, silver spike on the Minos and 5 dicing it, and we have. All right, 16 no triples.
Decent. Well, I'm going to try and get rid. 4 dice, trying to get 16.
Wah.
No good.
So
well done, sir.
That was some serious rolling. 1 hit with strength 6, but if you have more than 1 HP in your profile, you suffer 2 hits instead. So it's 2 hits, strength 6, and we know that your Minos have resilience 4, AP 10, so it's 2 hits that wound on a 2-up.
On 2s.
Pew! Okay. That's
nice.
exactly 2 wounds, so maybe I'm gonna put the blue tokens.
Not burning any extra energy. I like it.
2 wounds out of 9. That's good. It's good to keep in mind. And that essentially concludes the phase, because I'm not expecting. Well, you know what? I have a silver.
Yeah, you may
I
as
have
well.
a corruption thing. Why not? You know, it's just. Yeah. So I think that yeah, the minors might be targets anyway. Mongrels. Maybe mongrels can charge. Maybe mongrels can charge the. Yeah, right. Let's do mongrels. Just because I can. Yeah, see the guard AP1 anyway. So 5 up, and it does go off. Look at that, corruption of tin.
Do I get a dice back for fizzle? Is fizzle a thing? I can't remember.
No fizzle in Essence of War.
No fizzle. Sound does.
That's one, just the one you have.
I've been playing too many. I've got a tournament on Saturday, so I'm in that zone. You know.
So hopefully this is not gonna break the tournament flow with like excessive fluffiness.
No, it's just on rules. I'm trying to be like proper on it on that. So that's all it is. No, it's cool.
Selector mode. He's in selector mode.
Yeah, man, you know it.
The selector. All right, so we know that it's now shooting phase, and without talking too much about plans and reasons, I'm just gonna say, oh wait, maybe no boxes. So this should have been the guy that I removed, but no boxes. I am gonna shoot with the Citadel Guard on the minors. Right.
Yep.
So my guard did not move, and let's check distances. So this is 16.
Yeah,
all good.
Everyone's all good.
This one is 17. So that's a 3 up. It's 9 dudes, and long distance means 4 up. 9 hitting on 4 up. There's no cover of any sort.
Nope.
Looking for force, and I make 3. And I'm strength 4 and AP 2. So
res 4, RP AP. So
3 dice, every 4 up is a wound. Come on.
Here we go. Oh, that's killed one.
It's fun. All right.
Do that every time. Do that every time.
One fewer dude.
Can I take this guy?
Yeah, sure.
Did.
And do you test for panic because you lost 1 model?
I've lost
1 wound out of 7.
Is it on wounds or is it models? I think it's wounds. It's 25% of the wound pool, isn't it? I took 2 out of 9 previously, and that's 1 out of 7, I believe. Yeah,
that wasn't enough. But I would say that it's the wound and not.
I'm happy to take one anyway.
Not the model pool. No, let's say it's the. I think it makes sense that it's the. How's it called? The what's the word I'm looking for? Wound pool rather than
wound pool rather than models.
Yeah, that's the wound pool. I like that. Good. So that ends turn 1, and we go to turn 2, charge phase for the beasts.
Cool. Oh, I'll go mongrels into the Torok, and knowing that it's 17 inches, it's quite. I would genuinely need a double 6. I will not this turn. I'll take another barrage of shooting and hope for the best.
All right.
So yeah, I'll roll the. Should we roll the dice and then see how much?
Yes, yes. Way? Roll the dice first. Absolutely. For extra.
I get a completely average 7.
All right.
Mongrel's movement 5, so 12.
All right. Interesting.
Is it 12 inches?
Is it gonna work? It's 11. All right.
In, baby.
Over it. And we didn't check, but it is front.
Cool. I suppose that's technically still in, isn't it? So, best way to do it in terms of this?
I think that since you completed it, you can quickly, just do that. Bring them in, and here you go. These mongrels. Human-like mongrels.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. And I'm all in. Yeah, cool. That's it's not straight, but it's there. And then the other guys are just we're gonna be going for it. So the Soothsayer's unit goes 1 one way, but that's fine. 2. Oh no. 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go.
Right.
And we gotta hope that these guys just bomb forward 12, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Ooh, la, la, la. I am scared.
Yeah, baby.
I am scared.
Yeah, let's go. Magic.
Interesting. Go for it.
Because we ain't talking plans, bro. We're just getting on with it.
Just drawing them cards.
Then
casting them spells.
Number 1, 3 and 2. Here we go. Right now, the genuine issue is that 12 inches to my mongrels. That would be really useful if I knew that.
How easy it is to play the tournament.
Oh, good. Yeah, oh, goodness. I can't take... Oh, what's this? Oh, my goodness. 12 inches of the caster, yeah. Ooh, does that look like 12? Go on then. What else is it going to do? I'm going to take the risk. I think it's going to be out, actually, but we've got to be on them. Healing Waters, 3 dice on them, hoping it's within 12. Yeah, 13.
All right, I don't have a say in this.
3, yeah. So it's down to whether it's 12.
All right, tab it away. You can tab it away.
Yeah. Right. Oh, do it slowly. It's a 6. Halfway. 10.
Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna
11.
make it? Look at that.
Oh, no! 12.1. That's all the movement. That's all the movement. Shenanigans. That is fantastic. Bye. All right, cool.
The rabbit from the throne is laughing.
Yeah, man, that's class. That's class. So yeah, no dice, so to speak. No shooting because I marched. And over to can the mongrels do it?
All right, let's find out. Let's find out. Combat phase. So if you want, you can press 6 here, and you will have the Turok over there, and you can put it on top of your mongrel cards. So.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Depending on how familiar.
Just for ease. Yeah. Cool. So I'm going first, at least. Not looking forward to. I hope you fluff, my friend. But let's go. So I have 10.
Well, you can take a Primal Instinct test.
Of course.
And as we now know, it's going to be on their base discipline, right?
Oh, they love it, mate. They love
Don't
this.
need anything more than that. So
unfortunately, the hitting is the easy part. So it's 10 though, isn't it? So 10 attacks. There's no fighting extra rank.
Yes.
So we go 5 and 5, hitting on 4s with a reroll, I believe.
So it's 5 in and 5
rerolls. So 5 rerolls. And 1 more converted, so 6.
All right.
In total, looking for 6s, lucky 6s. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you made 2. Interesting.
I'll take.
All right. Oh, snap. So I have armor 5 up, 2 rolls. Come on. Seriously.
Here we go.
There is one tragedy. Look at that.
And
so
one HP each. Oh, blimey.
I lose this, dude.
Oh, blimey, we've done it, boys.
We've done it. Yes, that's crazy. All right, so I have 3 attacks and I'm hitting on 3s.
Yep.
And I make 2, and I am wounding on 3s as well. This is so ugly. So I make 1. It's AP 1, so it's 1 dead.
I mean, it's gone. Yeah, one dead.
Oh my god. So you win
Brutal,
by
my friend.
1 plus the charge, plus the second rank, plus the third rank, because even if you have 4 models, then it counts.
Yeah.
So you're winning by 4. Oh my god.
Absolutely.
This is the ugliness itself. So I'm testing at 5. Discipline 5. And I make an 8. Do you want to pursue?
Oh no, mate! You can leave. Those guys are well happy.
Look at that! Well done, mongrels. And
Mongrels
it's a 4.
on the tour up.
Look at that! So my bad positioning was punished in the.
They love being out of leadership as well. So.
Look at that! Yeah. It's like I don't need to prove anything. Right.
So because I'm not pursuing, I'm going to reform.
Yep.
Somewhat. Remind me what the swifty around is.
You would box select the unit and then grab it by the frame. And once you grab box select the entire unit and then grab it by the frame and then press E, and then Q and E to rotate them on the spot. Exactly. Exactly. Look at that. Terrifying. What a mistake.
Here we go.
What a rookie mistake.
Happy days.
Interesting. Well, at least no panic on my side, because they were further away. That's, glass is half full. And now we go to turn 2 for the Infernal Dwarves. And what am I going to do here? I don't know the distances. I don't know anything really. That sounds like...
that's like me at a tournament.
Yeah, right? Sounds like... I think I am gonna try and... Yeah, alright, no plans, we said. I am not gonna charge. I'm gonna go to the movement phase. And I am gonna wheel with my... with my levies. So oh, sorry, I said wheel. Well, 2 bad, 1 forward. So let's do 1 and 2 and 3, like so. All right, that doesn't seem like a flank. It seems like an okay one. What about these guys? Is there any way to understand whether these dudes will have line of sight? Yeah, they will have line of sight. I don't care. I'm talking too much. The guard is not moving. All right, so that's the only movement I make.
Pew.
And did I just give a flank to these guys? I probably did. That was.
Are we going on the base or the square? What part of the house? Because if it's a whole actual base, then I probably can't see you.
Yeah, so no, you can see this extra 1 inch away from the perimeter, and that's the one where you are not allowed to stop, but or move into. But it's not covering the line of sight. Yeah. I'm toast. All right.
I've seen it though. Oh, undo button.
Take
a strike. Take a strike.
It's exactly one of these things where it's because had you not seen it, then you wouldn't have seen the interest and the advantage of the no baxes. But now the no baxes really stings.
There we go.
Totally. All right. So let's go to magic after this the back of the movement phase. But let's find out and let's see what happens here. So mix, then draw, then flip, and it's a 7 to 4. Ooh la 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 la. And I think I have to do the same thing really. So I'm silver spiking again. Those poor minors.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it's in the front. It is within 24. We don't really have to check that even. So I am gonna 5 dice it. To hell with it.
Good luck. As always.
Thank you, sir. It's a 20.
I've got 4, yeah?
Yeah, 4. You can make it.
4 6s.
Whoa! Fantastic. I love it. This is beautiful. This is the absolute best.
Strike 2. What are the odds?
All right.
Goodness.
Then let's see the other spell. I think there's really absolutely no point in casting that other spell. Like precisely in this matchup,
you can cast it. What the Wild Horns got?
Right, it's like nothing can go wrong.
Oh, yeah, definitely on the minors, definitely.
Yeah, on the minors.
Gotta be. They got armor 1. Get rid of it.
Yeah. All right. Let's find out.
Surely.
I think I have AP 1 with every single attack and every single thing. But you know, why not? For the joy of failing it,
okay,
you know.
Never mind.
for the joy of wasting this 3 discipline test, that would have been very useful.
Yeah. Exactly right.
All right. So we now shoot, and I can go with my 9. With my 9 guns, and I'm gonna go on the minors again, and let's see if this dude is in line of sight. I think it is.
Easy.
But it's 10. So let's check the long range, short range.
Yeah.
So now I have to. I don't have a choice. So that's I'm not cheating here. So yes, I would say that 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in short range, and 5 are in short range, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in long. Correct?
Correct. Yep, I agree.
So 5 at 3 and 4 at 4. 4 at 4, 5 at 3. All right. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and these are wounding. These 5 are wounding on a 4-up.
I'm killing.
Nice. Don't you love this?
Got one. Got one.
Wound there. All right. This is terrifying, my friend. This is absolutely terrifying.
You could have done with a minor there, but you know.
Okay. So mid-battle, I'm sweating and in my knees, I would say. All right, charge phase.
You think this is mid-battle? That's interesting.
This is mid-battle. And also very close to the end, I would say, for some reason.
Yeah, no. I mean, let's charge everything that can see. And obviously, I don't know what can see yet, but we'll charge. The two bricks on your brick. Mongrels and the Wild Horns on your levies, and then I'll go Minotaurs versus the shooters, please.
All right.
And yeah, just to see whether I can see you, I guess. Would be and
but wait, I mean, I guess that. Yeah. Okay. No,
I'll roll them. I'll roll them. So,
you're right.
No, I'll roll it first, and then you say it. So so the mongrels, if they can. We'll get a 3 and a 1, 4, so 9 inches. And the Wild Horns get a 3 and a 2, so 10 inches. So yeah, it's can they see? Can they get in?
All right.
Oh, this adds an extra dimension, my friend. I quite like this.
Right. So let's activate line of sight for the mongrel. And look at that. This is very pretty. I think that they can see quite nicely the front too, and distance is 7.3. Is 8. So
I needed an 8.
These guys made it. I am holding. I didn't declare that, but that's fine.
Sure.
And these guys are in the front, and 10 is more than enough. So we can be happy with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
my
going to be
God.
brutal, my friend.
Terrifying. I'm terrified of this. And you can
roll,
roll.
And then we'll roll it for the Minos, and we'll see what they get. I mean, they should be in.
Yeah.
On a 17.
Wow.
I'm expecting that to be an 8.
I think you made it. Some of them were in short range, so.
Sure. Yeah. True.
Even in long range, they would have been okay. Like just in range.
Yeah. Right, cool.
Oh my
God. I did it again. Sorry. There we go. So I'll probably have to do that, and then these guys get in. But we'll have to wheel, right? So
yeah, I think that the moment you are flush with the house,
here,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then you would.
And then I go right round and I go in.
Yeah.
So that.
Yeah.
That, so I can go hit that bit. It's not, it's not pretty, but it's even if I go to there, yeah.
Let's take a good look
within
at
the
this,
house, but I'm not touching the house.
At these levies, because they are very pretty, but that's essentially all they have to offer for this fight. I would say there's not much else going on for them, since I position them in the dumbest possible way. Absolutely. Nice.
Lovely. And then the minos are in as well.
And
then like that. Plonk. Fantastic. Okay, magic.
Go for it.
Right, so 7. Oh, I mean, I'm copying you.
Yeah, right. And we know what's going to happen.
And we know what's because Master of Earth. Yeah, it can't happen. So that's 5 dice, healing waters. I'm gonna do it on the wild horns, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think well, give them a good chance. I mean, good luck.
So 22. You made a 20. Why can't I make a 20?
I made a 20. Yeah,
and this is not statistics. This is just like pep talk to myself, so I can make an 11.
Yeah,
just half of it.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yes. So healing waters, lovely job. This one.
Very nice. Oh my god, devastating.
Which that should mean that should be good. No shooting. On to I've not used my shooting well.
Not using your shooting
to say. Let's go minos first. Let's see if they can tear through that unit. It's probably the diciest one actually.
Let's find out. Let's remove immediately.
Yeah, agility 3. And 3 attacks each, so 6. You're agility 2, right?
I'm agility 2, yeah, and you're full discipline for the tests, is that right?
Oh yes. So full discipline. So primal instinct. Let's see what I get. Oh, they love it. They are ready. They're ready for the thing. So 6 attacks. Hitting on offensive 4.
Defense
versus
4.
Defensive 4. So 4s on a reroll. This is where it's got to come in. So half. And then 3 rerolls. Beautiful, my friends.
Oh, nice.
Strength 5, toughness 4. So we are talking 3s, and that's 5 attacks on 3s. Trying to do some woundage. That's very good woundage.
Look at that. So I have 4 armor saves at 6, correct?
Yeah, AP2, yeah, absolutely.
We're only looking at 6s, and look at that, look at that!
Oh,
brilliant!
You're so close!
Brilliant! The whole
They were on 6s for a time as well. They taunted you. Your dice taunted you.
TTS is terrible. TTS has no class, 0 class.
Yeah, that's it. TTS dice, man. That's what they say. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy.
Now my dudes are gonna have 1 attack each, so it's 5 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, no armor, right?
Yep.
All right. So 5 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh yeah, that's how you do it.
Good start.
And then 4 hitting, wounding on 3s.
Wounding on 3s as well.
All right.
Killing on 3s.
That's 1 gone. That's 1 gone. So actually, you win by 2 because you have 1 more kill and
a charge.
The charge.
Oh, that'll do. And an extra wound.
And that one dude is left with 2 wounds. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yes, I'm down. Yeah, up by 2.
Yeah. So that means that I'm gonna test at what's that gonna be? 7. So test at 7.
And I got rid of that that 4 with the magic. So
look at that! Look at that! Ain't that beautiful?
Oh my days! Oh my days!
Well, at least the levies
Well.
are not gonna panic because you know.
Yeah. Right, we've got.
Yeah. They have bigger fish to fry anyway. So. So what does that mean? Do you want to pursue? Do you want to stay where you are?
Not thinking whatsoever. I'm going to pursue because they're minotaurs. I want you dead, bro.
Right. All right. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So 2d6s for me, 2d6s for you. No extra rules.
Yep.
And now I get a 4. Sweet.
Now you get the 4. Right. Lovely job.
And 11. All right. But does that mean that you pursue through the hindering terrain? So do you want to get a dangerous terrain test?
Sure.
I can put the dude
so dangerous terrain. Is it only one, or is it more because he's large?
No, it's only one.
There's only one. Oh, there's one.
Look at that! Look at that!
It's all right. He's chilling at the back. He's munching away at dwarf demons.
Do you think that's good for, like, you know, your teeth or something? It's, you know, that's
yeah. Well, when you get, it's like a bit of like floss, isn't it, with the toothpick style
chainmail. All right.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm out. I'm out of here.
Do you think minotaurs take dental hygiene seriously? I don't know.
Ah, come on! Look at this guy here on the count.
Yeah.
This is the one from the Lab Master sets. Do you think that he doesn't take hygiene seriously? It's like, it looks perfect.
No, I think he definitely looks after his 2 teeth, doesn't he?
I mean, it's shaving its belly, you know, with some cream made of who knows what. All right, nice one. So yeah, man, have fun with whatever.
The big one.
Brutality happens.
I think I'm higher agility, 3 and 3.
So I have 3 with the levy as well.
Right, cool.
It's only the prophets going last, but yeah, all at the same time. You go first.
Well,
you roll your dice.
I will go first. So I've got 2 attacks on the Soothsayer at offensive 5 because of paired weapons. I don't remember. But it's all primal instinct first. So the Soothsayer's unit absolutely loves it, and the other guys are similarly happy with the situation. So the Soothsayer himself attacking, and we're just going to go against the levies. No allocations.
All right.
So Soothsayer, offensive 5, defensive 4, 3.
A 3 for the levy.
So it's hitting on the 3s with a re-roll. Don't worry about it. And strength is 3. Res 4. Res 3.
Res 3.
So needing a 4. No, he's just happy watching.
All right.
That's all he's doing.
So
then the rest of the guys, really. So I've got 9 models with Wildhorn Herds. They have 2 attacks each in the front. So I've got 8 in the front and 5 behind, 13 attacks. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So 7 and 6 hitting on offensive is 5, so it's 3s with a reroll. So I believe 1, 2, 3, 4 miss. So 4 rerolls. Cool. So 11.
11 total.
Total. So 6 and 5, and I'm strength 3, res 3, so wounding on 4s. It's a decent amount of 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at AP 0.
All right. I have armor 2, so it's 6, 5 ups. Come on. And I make 2. All right. 4
average.
Die. 4 die. Okay.
Are you allowed to say average?
Well, that does sound a tiny little bit as a...
Yeah, that's a bit statty, isn't it? Average is stats. So
sorry, mate.
That would be...
That's 1 warning for me, 1 warning for you. I'm just going to put it there so that it even...
I'm sure I've had another warning. I'm sure I have somewhere. Anyway. Cool. So the mongrels, I guess. There won't be all of them still there? Or
I think that,
just.
Yeah, let's corner.
I guess because they're Yeah, they're right up, aren't they? So yeah, so 10 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
They took the Torok on. Can they take the levies on? 5 and 5. Offensive 3, so 4s on a reroll. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rerolls. Looking for 4s on the rerolls. Yeah, very good. So 8 in total hit. Then we are strength 3, res 3. Looking for 4s, please, sir. And we've got, yeah, decent amount. So it's 5.
All right.
AP 0 again. AP 1 with these.
They have 1 because they have, yeah. They
spears,
look like they have spears. So did you say 5?
5 at AP 1, yes.
All right.
Please.
So 5, 6 ups. Okay. And I lose.
No, very nice. Very nice.
3. I lose 3. So and 1, and 2, and 3. All right. Ew. That is ugly. That is ugly. So my vassals, they have 1 attack each. So I can put 3 into the mongrels, and I can put 7 into the wild dawns, and the prophet has to go into the wild dawn, and I'm not gonna bother with the soothsayer. So let's do the 3 on the mongrels first. They're gonna hit on 3s. They're gonna wound on hit on 4s, wound on 4s, and no arm.
Yeah, man.
So hitting on 4s, and I make 1, and winning on 4, and I make none. 1 and none.
Those mongrels.
Mongrels are
not having any of it, are they?
MVP there.
Yeah.
So what about this guy, Wild Dawn? Oh gee, they're defense 4, resilience 4, so I'm hitting on 4s and I'm winning on 5s, and armor is inconsequential. So we said it's 7 attacks, hitting on 4s, and I'm making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
nice.
And here I'm winning on 5s, and I make 1. So you do have your spell on, right?
Yes, healing waters. So just check 5 up, right?
Yep.
5 up. No, not worth it. Okay.
At least,
take him
at
off.
least some blood. Some blood.
Yeah.
And then the prophet, come on, the prophet can do something. Prophet has two attacks, hitting on
7 wounds.
It's going to be hitting on 4s because he defends 4, interesting, and winning on 4s. All right, and still no armor. So 2 attacks on 4s and 4s.
He's got this.
And
He's
both hits and
wood.
both
Oh yeah, there we go.
Serious dude.
He knows what he's doing. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
This guy, man.
He had prophesied the fall of exactly 2 wild ones.
Do you think he was really like his talk to everyone was really like pumping up? Because he was like he foresaw him smashing up the wild ones. What he didn't see was everyone else not doing it.
What all the rest of, like, what
that's the only glimpse he saw. Right? Just him just absolutely obliterating his
watch the whole movie, dude. Just watch the whole thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm also gonna get 2 points for the for the ranks. You're also gonna get 1 for the charge, and you're also gonna get 2 for your most rank unit, and you're also gonna get 2 for the flank charge. So that's your bonuses. That's my bonuses. I get 5 points total, which just remove your static combat res. That's equivalent, and so the difference is the wounds you made. The difference is in the wounds.
But you've got a shot. Got a shot. You're down by 7.
The difference is in the difference is in the wounds you make. It really sounds like a like a indie song lyrics kind of thing from the 90s. The difference.
It's like a spoken word indie song.
So I can make a double 1. Come on, I am
not about. It's not about stats. We're not talking about that.
No, but we're talking about epicness. It's not stats. Epicness. It's not stats. It's epicness.
I tell you what, you get this, you win.
All right, double 3s. So I'm fleeing. Are you pursuing with 1 with both?
I mean, the mongrels are definitely. Oh no, actually, The Mongrels will stay because they're going to be the ones to win. Do I still get to choose which way you flee?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, so you definitely run away from the Mongrels, but they're just going to laugh at you as you do.
Yeah.
And the Wild Horns and the guy are going to come after you.
Amazing. I love it. That's the most scenic outcome possible. This is my roll. I make a 9.
And I make a 5.
Okay.
You're on the board.
All right. So now I am going here and then doing a 9. Why did I not use the... Okay, that's the good part of the keyboard. And that's a 9. Well, actually, to be precise, yeah, I should go 1 inch backwards because that wasn't... I mean, who cares about this, but still. Because the rotation happens before.
Yeah, so... Oh, went wrong way. So
exactly.
I'll turn exactly perpendicular. Is it perpendicular? I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and you have to stop 1 inch from me, so that's kind of okay. Yeah, that's
or a little bit back.
Exactly, perfect. Oh, look at that! This is a nice scene.
That's a shot. Yeah, that's a shot.
With the crazy mongrels, which you can.
And the mongrels are literally laughing.
Yeah, and like just looking at the eyes on the ball for the mongrels, right? They can look at the center of the ball.
Yeah, are they, let's see. Are they are they in it technically? They are.
Look at that.
So, and I suppose, is that measuring? Technically, that's measuring.
That is measuring.
That's measuring.
I'm sorry, mate.
I could lose this.
I'm sorry, mate.
That's definitely measuring. Yeah. So no, they're going to stay where they are and just keep laughing for no apparent reason. That's
crazy. All right, good.
Naughty.
You had enough units to undo the the problem that was solved by the measuring anyway. So it's okay that way. But it is kind of nice to be like this and not know whether you should, reform and then sidestep.
Actually,
and do this
so
to that.
I was really. That was very naughty. Yeah. Although I suppose, where do I have to be in? I have to be off the base of the thing now, don't I? With the mongrels, I have to be an inch away from the.
No, it is okay to be like this now because you charged. So if you had to do a voluntary movement, then you wouldn't be able to stay like this. But right now it's okay. Yeah.
Lovely job.
Good. So that's the end of turn 2. I still have a unit on the battlefield, so it's a great pride of mine. I'm not going to do a charge phase, but I'm going to go swiftly to the...
He's got this.
Come on, show us. Give us a 9. Give us a 9. Give us a 9.
He's got this. Okay. Yeah, easy.
To some extent. To some extent. So I would really like to blast that minor with the final spell. Wouldn't that be pretty? And at least kill the 1 unit. But I don't know that that's the. What have I just done? Press S. All right.
I like it.
that's not a backseat. It's just a
Yeah, we can't class that as an undo. That would be really.
And now my big problem, actually, if you think of it, is that I cannot do anything funky because I have to stay 1 inch away from you. So, man, I have no choice. I cannot...
There's nothing... Because I rolled a... What did I roll? A 6? No, a 5. There's nothing in the rules that says I should be 4. It's because I was flanking you, technically, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's because...
I'm that much closer to you.
Because I fled from my flank and you... pursued from your center, so
yeah. No,
so that means that I cannot pivot so that I could watch the hindering terrain and then shoot at the minor. I can just either look in this direction or look in the other direction and get charged in the rear, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. So I will have to do this. That's the best I can do.
Just turn around to see the mongrels laughing at you.
Look at that, look at that. Throwing japes at me. All right.
And like doing that really annoying thing where they sort of like look at you and like cover their mouth and whisper to their face. That's what they're doing. But they're pointing, so you know they're saying something about you. You don't know what.
You can see one of them is like, with a light shrug, like, like moving the shoulders like that, without even bothering laughing too hard. It's just a snickering kind of thing. Who knew? You're really role playing as a highbone there, even when you play with the beasters.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
All right, sweet. So that brings us to the magic phase, where not much is gonna happen, but who knows? It's a 3v2.
Ooh.
And this really makes no sense. I can't target mongrels. I would have done it with so much pleasure, but instead I'm just gonna throw a silver spike at the unit that's just in front of me. And these spells should have like a minimum range, like catapults, that kind of stuff.
Do you reckon?
Because it's so
you just flying it from your hand, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right, 9. Can we do it? No, 6.
Yeah. Wow. So it's strength 6. I'm wounding on a 2, and I do.
Cool. Healing water still up, technically.
Sorry?
Is healing water still up? No. Yes.
Oh yeah. It lasts one turn. Absolutely.
It didn't matter.
All right.
Yeah. You did. But technically it was.
That's
good
to know. So that's 3 dudes then, and this guy has 1 wound left, and my entire unit has been depleted. And how many levies did I lose? I'm just checking the numbers there. So it's 7 dead levies. All right.
I think so. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. I'm just checking for the stream, the different things. All right. What I was doing was updating the the different wound markers in the stream, so that I can say also hello to the people in the chat. There's Kalkathin from the Essence of War team watching the demise of the of the ID.
Yeah.
And Hi Snorri was commenting on the vassals from Admiralty. They are pretty indeed. This is Castle Brush.
Nice.
There's it's a painting studio from Poland that did the painting for these guys. They are really cute. Yes, maybe I should change the colors because they look a bit sunburned. That's a lot of exposure. Anyway, let's go back to my turn, which is now over. So let's go back to your turn. Your final turn.
Yeah, sure.
Charge phase.
Well, yeah, the Minotaur is turning around. Oh no, it's charge phase.
No boxes, no boxes.
Yeah, no charges. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Which
I'm
I guess
kidding.
will be fine.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's go for it, shall we? It'll finish you off, son.
You wish.
I wish. Yeah, it'd be interesting. No, with less attacks and stuff. So, we have got to remember somewhat the target. So the Mongols will just stay there. So, yeah, let's go. Boom. So, in order to do it,
I hold. You auto in, and
so I'm only going to get 3 in, aren't I? I'm not going to get the 4th.
Yeah, I think that at this point you really have to do the wheeling. I mean, we know that it's going to be 3 anyway, so that's okay. We don't need to.
So yeah,
but in theory, you'd have to do this essentially, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then once you see that you would impact with that dude, then you can take that guy over there, and you can use that as a center for rotation.
Oh, sorry. Oh, what am I doing? That was me.
I moved it. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't move your unit.
No.
Actually,
no, you should.
That's that's something that.
Yeah, is that a thing? Is it?
It's so self-evident that I didn't make a token for that. Don't touch the opponent's unit. What are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Sorry, I apologize.
I genuinely can't do that at tournaments, even if it's if it's really awkward for someone to come over to you to move one of theirs. And they say, just move that in the corner for objective. I just can't. I'm so clumsy. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. You've got to move it yourself, my friend.
Yeah, there's apparently I don't know if you know Ludaman from the 9th Forum. He's this player from Southern California, and he has these crazy armies. You know, this.
Is he the one that he's got a thread that Ludeman gets the best commissions or something like that?
Yeah, he's got all this mercenary paints.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And you know,
it's so good.
He was saying that he has 4 patrols for Essence of War already painted that he wants to bring to a demo event in his club.
Oh my goodness!
To introduce new people to the game. Can you imagine that?
Oh my!
The clumsy.
There's one in particular that I saw. I think was a vampire, a vampiress character, and just like. You know, you look at models, and go, "Oh, it's wicked." But the skin tone on this model, is insane. Yeah. It's out of this world, so good. So no, if you get any of his models, then absolutely,
it's
he's got. He's sucked me in though because he's this next one's a dragon, and that's
the dragon, the large one. That's amazing too.
Yeah.
But seriously, sometimes faces on miniatures, they change everything. So when you have a pretty face of a vampiress with that skin tone, So imagine moving one of these.
That was it. I'd put gloves on and still not touch them, just in case. Oh my goodness. Right, so that's the charge phase. Simply just gonna move this guy around to be like that. Has to go in 90-degree angles, I think, because where he is. But that's like that. And these guys are just gonna. Can they back up voluntarily? We were saying about the backing up thing. Because or what would they do in that case?
Maybe you can sidestep, right?
Sure.
Because
I can't.
Sidestepping would be the movement that you can do voluntarily and brings you out of. I guess.
1, 2.
And actually, this is interesting because that shows you one of the few cases where you would be allowed to do the half hinge because they have number 4. So this is if you want to grab them and move them to the line.
Sure, because everything's 1 inch. Isn't it?
So it's discretized. So exactly, perfect.
Sound. Cool. So that's my movement. On to magic. What's shuffle? It's S, is it? Oh, R to shuffle. Oh, there we go. I haven't been shuffling. I don't know whether that genuinely matters. 5 and 4, and we will go 5 dice on Healing Waters. Talk about not thinking. It's going to be on the Wild Horns. Let's go, Idaho. That seems like a pretty good roll.
18. I have 4. Let's see. 16. All right.
Ooh, just
nice.
Just
close.
But yeah, the spell is on again. Happy days. Ooh. See if it does anything this time. Right. Yeah. No shooting again. Terrible usage on my part. On to combat. So it's my guys, then your guys at the same time technically, and then your dude who has prophesized that he is going to mash up some wild horns. So we'll see if that continues. But first, the Soothsayer hitting on... Oh, no. Of course, Primal Instinct first, which they fail! Oh, here we go. So, not re-rolling. Not re-rolling on 3s for the Soothsayer. So 1. And strength 3, so we're talking 4s. No, nothing. The Wildhorn Herd. So I've got 2 more in base contact?
I would say 2 and 3 in the back rank, yeah.
And 3. So we've got 4 goes to 7. Not re-rolling.
Not re-rolling.
Quite crucially, hitting on 4s. Yeah,
wait.
3.
Hitting on 3s.
3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And then wounding on strength is
3v3, so it's 4 ups.
4s. 4 on 4 ups. I think that's pretty good.
Okay. 3. So I have 5 ups for this 3. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
Here we go.
Interesting.
This guy is prophesies.
Look at
Even when he was running, he was like, "Don't worry about it, guys. We've got this."
So what do you think? I have 2 vassals in contact, correct?
Yeah, 2 vassals
And the 3 in the
3
background.
guys.
All right. So it's 5. These are hitting on 4s, and I'm winning on 5s. 5 hitting on 4s. Come on, come on. It's 2 winning on 5s. You can do it. All right, 1 wound.
There's the 1.
All right, all right. I like that. That's the rank.
Straight onto the 5 up.
That's a 5 up.
save.
Sorry, I
Holy
keep
God.
forgetting it. Shoot.
No, we're in.
That changes a lot if I don't get that rank out. So let's look at the prophet. He's gonna have 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, winning on 4s. Yes. So 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. Come on, come on. You saw it. You saw it. You saw that one guy being wounded on a 5. All right.
Here we go. He saw it.
All right.
He knew. On a 5
Healing
up.
waters.
On a 5
Healing
up.
waters.
Did it? He knew.
No,
he
yes.
knew. That's nice.
Nice. So that's a push.
Yeah, I've got a charge, and you've got the extra rank.
I got the extra rank. All right. So this is interesting because that lets us see what happens with the how's it called?
Not reform.
Yeah, right. The combat pivot.
Yeah.
Combat pivot thingy. Oh, I'm dreaming of these mongrels being within 6 inches, and and your units losing the combat for some strange reason.
I was kind of in a really weird, I guess, self-deprecating way. I was really hoping you'd win and then have to charge the mongrels for the end, which would be an awesome ending.
Right, the one final thing at the very end of it all.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty. I still have a turn. I still have a turn. Who knows what happens there? The dice gods might be on the cool side. Let's find out. So,
Catherine, who just joined us, I haven't answered on the chat, but what happened to the Taurox? The mongrels.
Mongrels. When mongrels happen to Taurox, that's what happens.
Yeah. So can I reform then? Can I get more in combat?
Yes, you can slide into combat, and it's your priority to decide who does that first. So
my priority. So I will go first, just for shizzles and giggles.
What is that? Oh my god, that's ugly. Okay. Whew. So that's the end of your turn, and we go to my last turn, and there's a magic face that I can get, but in reality I'm not gonna do anything this time, and we're just gonna go straight to combat and to your primal instinct test.
Yeah, right. Cool. So primal instinct this time around 9.
Oh!
I don't think he's 9, is he?
Also
no, just an 8.
Also failed.
Yeah. So, straight on it. But we do have a few more. So the soothsayer himself. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s. Hitting on 3s, don't worry about it, son. The Wild Horn Herd, so 2 attacks each in front. So we have 8 attacks from the front row and 5 from the next, so 13. So 7 and 6, all hitting on 3s. That seems a lot better.
All right.
So out of 13, 10. Oh, brutal. Wounding on 4s.
Yep.
So 3 from that and 4 from that. 7. That is
7.
pretty brutal.
On a 5 up for me. 7 5 ups, and I make 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I lose 4. And
yeah, that's nice. But this is the same time, isn't it? So
yeah, they're still attacking, right?
They're still attacking.
Those two are still attacking.
Those 2, yeah.
So I don't know what's gonna happen here, and I'm not gonna talk about it because no stats. So I'm gonna put everything into the bloody wild zone, and it's gonna be what, 9 attacks from the levies.
Yep.
Hitting on 4s and winning on 5s, so that's why it's separate from the prophet. Okay, 9 attack, hitting on 4s, and that's 4 of them, winning on 5s. I make 1. All right, 5 up.
There's the 1. 5 up. Does he make it? He does.
Oh.
But it wasn't about them. It was about the prophet.
All right, let's look at the man of the prophecy. Hitting on 4s. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
And winning on 4s as well. Look at that. All right, it's 1. Okay.
He's the one that made the push last time, and one for sure doing. He knew, man.
It's that one's for the flag. So I only lose by 3 now in this case. All right. So let's see.
Yes, because there's no charges or nothing.
Let's see whether anything of consequence happens here.
Does it matter? Will it matter?
I mean, for the scenery, for the final scenery.
Oh no, I meant in terms of the roll. So with that extra 1 guy killing. So yeah, I mean, I will pursue.
Yeah. So it's 2d6 for me, and that's a 6.
6. Can they make it? A 7.
And they pop.
Here we go. Prophesize that, bro.
I'm not sure that he saw that coming, especially because it was in the back, like,
yeah, well, exactly.
Right. It was a pursue movement, so technically you don't see that. Look at that. All right. So, but still, we don't know. I mean, we would pretend that we don't know whether you are within 6 from the center, and when we do activate that, we see that they are in the zone.
Yeah.
Well done, Lucky Sixes. Well done, Lucky Sixes.
Like I said, if you'd have topped me on that previous combat and I fled, I would have loved to see mongrels and Calcafians the same on the chat. That would have been epic. That would have been the best win of anything.
Definitely, that would have been like the super revenge of the that'd have been epic. And I thought about that for a second, that it could have happened. And actually, let me check if that was 6 inches actually, like because this is 6 up to here, right? This is the panic range, and then this is the 3 inches.
Yeah, they could have been off.
Of the and then that's the 7 that you did. So it was look at that. It was exactly within the panic range. So it would have been amazing. But cool. Sadly, Cal, that didn't happen. So next game. Well played, Lucky Sixes. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, good game. Online handshake.
Made a couple of very silly movement mistakes, but that was contributing to the creation of the whole story for the battle.
Yeah,
very enjoyable.
And what story? Right, it went about the intricacies of the undo button. It was we got the profit. That was cool, man.
So let's see. Let's take 5 last minutes if you have the time, so that I can get
absolutely do.
Your impression on these on these do's and don'ts, or essentially don'ts, because it's a very negative way of framing things, I guess, with all this don't, but yeah. So what do you think of those? First of one, no comments about lucky rolls, unlucky rolls. Do you do that anyway in your games now?
I mean, I'm more apologising for all the 6s I roll all the time, So I can see why that's in there and stuff. Personally, it doesn't happen too much. It wasn't too different to a lot of my games and a lot of my opponents, just having fun and rolling dice. And when you see a bad roll, you obviously say it. So it's or a good roll, likewise. And but it's more. I guess it's more in the spirit of it for me, rather than not saying it at all. But yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I would say that actually you shouldn't comment on the on your own bad luck. That's probably and on the opponent's good luck. Then maybe I can refine this. Yeah, nice.
Well, I don't know, because it can, like, I've heard it can annoy, like, getting deep and serious now. Some people do get annoyed if you keep saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." That can be as frustrating. Like, so if I roll all the 6s, let's say, like I always do, right? And I keep on going, "Oh, I'm so sorry," then that can be as frustrating as getting bad rolls yourself, So I get that. That can be generic. For me, it's just the spirit you play it in with that, rather than whether you say it or not. Because of course, I've said it. Probably one of the best examples of me is I had my chosen block against Josh Burns's Wild Hunters sort of thing, and he left me a 6/6 charge, and that was the only way my chosen were gonna win because of agility wise. That battle, and obviously spoiler alert, they got the 6/6, and the battle finished in 3 turns, and that was the final battle, and we both went to the bar and had a drink. Of course, I bought him the drinks because that was a mad roll, but we still talked about it and stuff, and it was relatively it was good spirits, you know. So not mention it completely I get, because you just avoid the subject completely, but for me it's just the spirit of how you say it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we can keep this as a as a how can I say this, as a guideline for people who don't know the opponent just yet, and so they want to ease themselves into understanding how to really. Good.
Yeah, man.
Double dipping. What do you think of double dipping? It doesn't really happen that often that you move a unit for only 2 inches, then you move a different unit, and then you go back. But in case, do you think that it's important to say it that this shouldn't happen?
Again, I guess it stops slow play, right? That's the whole point of it. And there can be some times where you move a unit, and then you want to move a unit in a specific place, and it stops the very, very intricacies and the 0.1 inches and things like that, I think. So it can sometimes be important, but I guess it's encouraging pre-planning, I can say that, and discouraging slow play. So I quite like double dipping, if not only for the name, for the actual things of it. So I think that's probably more important, I would say, than the last one. But
No, by the way, since you're commenting on the name, if you have suggestions for the visual representation of these things, absolutely.
I do, but I don't think we can say them on the stream.
It's only 10:30 in certain parts of it. All right, off stream. That's for off stream.
Yeah, right.
So that's another one. And while I let you think about the no backsis parts, I'm gonna maybe reboot the sound cards, because probably there's a bit of crackling noise. So count to 10, and I'll be back with audio. And we are back.
7. Oh, I'm
all right.
Well,
sorry,
10.
We're back to 7. So no backsies. So what's your experience? Do you see units being moved and then people saying, "Oh, sorry, no, I'll go back"? Do you see that happening more on the physical battlefield, more on video games?
For sure, it's more online, and it's how easy it is to put them in the exact same position as before. Yeah. I know a lot of people do use the markers so that they can put them in position straight if they come up to that. So the whole idea behind the undo button, that sort of thing. I'm again discourages slow play. It's always how you use these things. It's not always going to be input. Not everybody that does that isn't slow playing.
Yeah.
And everybody that does that isn't doing it to waste time or to be like that. It's just sometimes you move them and go, you know what, I've seen a different position, or you want to move in that position, but you've underestimated movement values, etc., etc. But yeah, at the same time, it's like the last one. It encourages pre-planning, so it encourages people to think while they're not playing, so to speak. On the opponent's turn and stuff, which I know is quite important, especially. This is I guess the reasons for it aren't necessarily the reasons for tournament play, but can help in tournament play as well. The reasons for it on this, I presume, is so that the other person doesn't get bored while you keep undoing. But in tournament play, it can be really important to be speedy as much as you can as well. So I think that's as good on both fronts. And I mean, you know me, I'm not an undo kind of guy, but I understand why some people do it. At the same time, it can slow the game down a lot. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I like this being in there.
Yeah, I think that this is very interesting, especially if you look at it from the point of view of something like Essence of War, where you are trying to learn it. In some cases, you can use this to teach the game, and you might say, well, giving the possibility to go back, to backtrack and change things is going to help a person understand how things work. But in reality, what happens is that it is putting you in a loop of dealing with that one specific event. And by looking at that one specific event of the movement of that unit, you lose the forest for that specific tree. So, if the game becomes twice as long and you don't finish the game and you don't see that in the end, I could still have won. Crazily enough, at the end of turn 4, if the dice gods were on my side by quite a margin, I could have won this game, despite the bad positioning of the tarot. And so you need to know that before knowing how you're moving your units first.
Yeah, and realistically, if say my mongrels didn't have a flank charge, and I wouldn't necessarily have put them in alongside the wild horns. Yeah. So if they were both in the front, I might have just gone wild horns, for example, and put my mongrels in a position where there was no overrun. Yeah. So in doing that, you've suckered me in. Yeah. So exactly. I might not have been in the position I was for you to win the game, genuinely win the game. Yeah. At a point where probably both of us didn't think that was even possible. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think that in a sense, this no backs it's kind of taking something away, because also when you don't comment on rolls, and when you don't do statistics, this is another one that we'll see in a second, you don't take the chance to teach the other person how to think about numbers and this and that. But at the same time, every minute that you spend doing that is a minute that you take away from the new player seeing the game from the top, from an eagle eyes perspective. So that's from the learner's perspective, and of course from tournament perspective, no backs is pre-planning, and all you said makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, at the same time, there are points where you go, you know what, take it back, don't worry. Yeah. And things, and that's in a casual game, for example, where you both got the evening, and on turn 1 someone makes a mistake that is going to change the battle. That's fine. It's absolutely what you're putting it in there for is for so that people aren't doing the backs again, taking the time.
Totally.
I guess these are in there for they're not absolutes for people. It's just there for a bit of fun one time. Right?
Exactly.
And like we were doing as well. Like I will confess to not being the best with computer movements, as Def is readily available on every single video I'm ever on. You'd think I'd get it by now, but even that, I pressed the wrong button and I've gone the other way. But let's have a bit of fun with it, and let's not go.
Exactly. See where that leads us.
I think you did that as well at one point. Yeah.
That happens. So see where that leads us, and it's all part of the bigger scheme of the battle. So speaking about movement, talking about that, what do you think about know-how finching?
Again, the name is wonderful, but I would probably say this is the least consequential of all of them, in my opinion. Again, I can see why people would do it and doing it, but then once you're not doing 0.5 inches, it just becomes part of the game, and I'll just move in inches then. And perhaps you become a bit more people. If you take the game very, very seriously and stuff, you might become a bit more cautious. So you might not go as gung ho if you're wanting to be in the right space, and if 1 inch would take you over that exact space, probably be a bit more cautious with it. But I don't see this as a problem. I probably see this as fairly inconsequential.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I agree with that. This is quite situational. I think that in Tabletop Simulator, it means a bit more than it would on the battlefield. Because here, if you remember, I used to have this, to the top right of the screen, this menu where you could choose how much you wanted to move. And here, by saying it's only 1 inch, increment is fixed, then you don't think about it anymore. You don't have to go up there, click, type the number in. So this is more of a TTS thing than a real battlefield thing. This is how I thought about it at the beginning. But then I thought, if you're only doing 1 inch, then you have very little fine-grained resolution for those things like, am I inside your line of sight? Am I outside your line of sight? And then at that point, that synergizes with the other thing that we'll see in a second, which is no pre-measurement.
Yeah, sure.
And since you cannot look at the line of sight of the other units, and you're only discretizing at 1 inch, then it solves the problem of, like, even when you are on the actual battlefield, that you say, I'm going to do this 0.3, and I'm going to do this and that. So it's a bit of a... I don't know whether this is a tabletop simulator only, or if it also means something once you are on the battlefield. I think that if you are on the battlefield...
No, I think it does.
Yeah, because when you're on the battlefield, you would say, this is the maximum I can do. So this is like 8 inches in front of me, and I am moving within that, and that's fine. So probably...
No, absolutely. But again, for the smaller, like for the very intricacies and the moments where that 0.5 would matter, that it would take a... If you suddenly said you can only move in inches, it would then become a problem. Do you know what I mean? On tabletop. So if it's applied for that, and you're essentially... This is also saying you then have to measure in inches rather than going anywhere between as well. So it's the kind of like general statement really for physical battles as well. So like then you actually look at moving them in inches up and wheeling and stuff. And you do that in real life and stuff, but probably means more on here. But it definitely is a thing.
Yeah, because imagine that you're saying, okay, so this is my unit, I'm going to make a wheel of 0.3 inches, and then I'm going to advance by 4.8, and that means, we know that means 5.1 total.
But whatever, yeah.
But, so imagine that for every movement of every unit, of every turn, of every match in a tournament. And the difference is that what we've been doing for this game, for example, is that we just had the unit over there, and the unit was there, and you would say, okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, done.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well,
I think it's also like with that as well. You've just demonstrated quite easy to do on the computer and everything, and that might take a bit more time in real life. So this is one that actually might take a bit more time, but it sort of means something different in real life. Whereas this is saying no half inches on, so you wouldn't reduce your thing. You actually in real life, you're now not using any of the points. So you've got to go 1 in 6 and then 2 and then, or whatever. So it does, it still matters. I just reckon it's probably out of all of them the least one that once you get in your head, probably you won't accidentally do.
Yeah, definitely. So, by the way, I'm ranking them. I think, with the no double dipping and no backseas, and then no comments here, and then the half inching. I think then we can adjust them dynamically.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see what other people think as well. So
right. That's I think that the forum can share this kind of stuff, and if anybody in the chat wants to contribute to that as well, let us know. We'll read that in a second. Sure. Yeah. So, do you have time for the other 3?
I've got all the time in the world, baby.
Sweet. All right, excellent. That deserves attention. No plans. So do not make comments about the reasons for your choices.
Now, again, see, this is another thing, is that technically I did with the mongrels, but it wasn't for tactical reasons. It was for roleplay, I guess, reasons that I would stand there, and the reason I'm standing there is so that I can laugh at you.
Yeah. Sure.
So within that, do you mean comments for tactical reasons, or do you mean any comments whatsoever?
So I was trying. No, I meant reasons why. Also rules wise and this and that. So, for example, at some point I said, well, I'm not going to cast this spell, Corruption of Tin, because after all of my attacks have at least armor penetration 1, and none of your units have armor better than 1.
Sure.
And it's like, dude, just don't cast the spell. Huh? That's it. I don't need to know that you're not casting it.
You didn't need to say that. Yeah. That was
and that's
you talking to yourself moment, right?
Yeah, and exactly, it's more of this you talking to yourself, or like to an audience, a non-better specified audience. Just don't do that. If you want to do the role playing, like absolutely, let's have fun and do that. But all that part of like the reasons behind the curtain, like spare me that. Just give me what is happening in the battle, and let's create something together, or have fun if you have some kind of fun comment to make.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because I mean, out of all of them, I would say this is the harshest. Not in terms of ranking, I don't know, but this could be something that people could learn from. So it's very interesting, so especially onlookers. So if they're not necessarily knowing about the game, or you've got people that don't know Ninth Age come over to watch a game of Ninth Age, having someone talk through their thinking actually can be really beneficial. In some capacities, it does make the game really much longer. So it's certainly, like just example, it's time consuming and can be somewhat irrelevant, especially if everybody in the room already knows that. Which a lot of the time that is the case, and that's probably what I imagine you're sort of suggesting for it. Yeah. But sometimes people can learn from it as well. If you say, "Oh, I'm not going to cast Corruption Tin because beast herds aren't very good." The next time, if someone's heard that and they come up against beast herds, they might not choose Corruption Tin, and that will benefit them, and they'll learn from it. So, well, it's one of those ones, really. I'm quite happy more talking the role play and creating that. But there are definite. This is probably one out so far. This is the one where I see the most benefits of, in terms of player development as well. So I completely agree with what you're saying. Is that sometimes you can be shut up, get on with it, sort of thing. However, some people can learn in that manner, talking through things, and some people do better talking through to themselves about it. So they talk through all the different scenarios and choices so that they get to the right one, and that can be a genuine process for people. Yeah,
so exactly. I know that I do that myself, and I was trying to stop myself from doing that, because some of the people I play with might not necessarily enjoy waiting me, going through all the process. They might prefer listening to background music, or just strategizing about their own next move. But as you say, for certain audiences, this can be very interesting. But maybe that's precisely the problem, is that it's so contingent on who's the audience, that just to be on the safe side, you can divorce what is happening in game from the commentary about the game. And so there's a difference between the battle report kind of mindset and the let's play this game in 1 hour and a half type of mindset. And of course, when you and I have this kind of video, with the chat and being live and going on the channel and everything, there's a sort of confusion, because we don't know who's watching and what kind of background they're bringing into the game. So, but this would be the safe choice would be keep the game fast and let the other person do the pre-planning.
And as you say, while I've said there is a benefit, and I do think that it's probably not entertaining at the same time. Talking through all the different choices isn't an entertaining thing to do. Yeah. It might be something that helps you yourself or helps others if they're. I wouldn't say it's the most fun thing. So what you're doing by taking that out is just promoting fun. Yeah. Rather than, it's not about tactics and getting everything right.
Exactly.
It's about, let's just get on with it and have fun, and whatever happens, happens. And so it's a very, this is probably for Marmitey, right? People love it or they hate it.
Yeah,
I can see both sides.
I think that's a great way to frame it. So this is for educational purposes that you will do that, either for your own self-education and like the mapping of everything, or for the benefit of the audience. But it's not making the game snappy and like, oh, stuff is happening and there's another roll. Look at that, this charge happened.
Yeah.
And so, in the interest of keeping the game live, then that's for entertainment purposes.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So, related to this point would be the one about statistics, because that's also very educational for people who, don't know how to deal with this stuff, but that's also very unentertaining for, half of the population, I would say.
And I'm in that half that I don't get stats. I don't like hearing about them because you sort of go, well, if this is the stat, then you can always roll a 6. Yeah, there's just as much. There's just as much chance of 6 6s coming out. There's no 6s, and they're like, no, it's not. It's you know what? I don't care. I'll roll the dice and whatever it is. That's the chance. Yeah. So I'm one of those. My personal opinion, but for sure. Like it helps you looking at it objectively. It helps you mitigate bad luck. If you already know the dice, or if you do the Dan Thomas style of things where you lower the averages by 1 and you look at the stats on that sort of front. Because the thing I mean by that is he says every first dice should be a 2 and the second one should be a 5, I think he says, rather than 3 and 4. So there's a different way of thinking and there's lots of different ways and things. It can help people, and obviously statistics are quite a big part of it because it's dice, whatever. But I'm in that bracket that just says, you know what, shut up.
Yeah, totally. No, I understand, but I like the I like the visual part. So I like to translate the numbers into a graph, and this graph might be more or less impactful in terms of like I sort of visualize it. I see this bell shape and I can see the tail, which if it's long or if it's short, but then dwelling on it, no.
And don't get me wrong, I love an Excel spreadsheet. I'm big into that. There's a time and a place for stats. I probably actually after the game is when stats should be. Yeah. So ban it during the game for sure. I'm massively on that train, but after the game you can bring them in and say how ridiculous it was that that happened and stuff. Because that's part of the game. You play poker and everyone goes, "Oh, it's ridiculous that you had that. The chances of doing that, blah blah blah." And it's the same if you go to a tournament or you play some games with people and that someone rolls. They need a double 1 on their leadership and they roll it and it changes the game completely. And then you could go, "Oh, it wasn't that a great moment. What are the stats for that? How this, and show people how genuinely mad it was that you rolled that double 1 and how it changed everything." And that's cool. But during the game, nah, not bothered.
Yeah, exactly. I would say that it's even worse than the plans parts. There's much more to be learned from the plans than even just from the stats.
I'd agree.
And so I think that this leaves us with maybe I would say perhaps the most interesting one for the very last. Pre-measuring. I haven't played with no pre-measuring in a century. In a number of editions, I would say. Good. So how do you feel about that?
I loved it, and and this is coming from someone that actually failed to not measure, because I did technically measure, and it's such a part of the game now, and it just is a thing, and you can do it, and that's it. And so taking it away, is the single most difficult thing to do, because you can measure everything and you base your whole movement phase on measuring, and magic phase comes down to measuring, and shooting comes down to measuring, and combat can sometimes, because of magic, come down to measuring. So it all comes down to measuring, and I think taking that out I think my personal thing, it just releases all your inhibitions and goes, you know what, this is a fun game. This isn't about being 0.1 in so that you can maximise your flee distance and blah 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 blah.
Exactly.
It's just about let's just have some fun, and if things happen because of no measuring, then we can blame it on that, but we can have fun doing it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, it's you know, it's doing something that you used to do at a very high level of precision in without having the tools for being precise. It's like I don't know if you play music, and I don't know if you drink, but imagine if you play music while being drunk. And you know, it's something that you can do, but you cannot do it that right. So
Yeah.
you are automatically expecting to have fun with it, because it's like, you know, you're gonna be sloppy and it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, you know.
And it's instincts, man. You just go with your instincts. And
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
It's probably a lot harder to impose online, I would say, because you've got, so for example, your building has got a base which is exactly an inch apart.
Yeah.
And your forests are exactly the same size, sort of things. And I don't know whether the hill is the same, the base of the hill is the same size as the forest.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got the lines from the start, so you know that's 24 inches. I think someone a lot cleverer than me can probably use the terrain on here now and sort of visualize what is 6 inches, what can be. Because, for example, my wild horns are going to be 3 inches deep, right?
Yeah.
So I know that if I mean, that house probably based on that looks about 5 inches, maybe 6. So because I'm just visually looking at the wild horns and seeing that they come to just over half of the building, you know, so the whole base is that much. So I think someone a lot cleverer than me could probably work out what all the differences are, and much better estimate than me what is 12 inches and things like that. But I mean, we had it even in this. There was a 12.1. What a moment that was. That was so fun. And if I hadn't just done it intrinsically, the measuring in the middle, if I hadn't done that, how would I have acted in that fourth one? What would I have done with the wild ones? Would I have backed them up to the side, knowing obviously they were usually in, or would I have to try and get them backwards? Or so it adds just that extra element of just and like those moments of, I can't believe I'm 0.1 out of this really important magic phase. And, you know, so I love it. I love it personally.
Yeah, no, it's fun, and I think that it pushes you to think macro instead of micro. You know, it's like you think about the big things that you can have some control on, rather than like, you know, the fine tuning of everything. As for the physical versus digital aspect of it, I mean, I don't know. I remember once I have this scene. I still can see the face of the guy. Like, he had a ruler in one hand and a rule book in the other, and he was measuring the the size of the rule book, the long side, the short side, and he was measuring the diagonal of the book, because, like, you know, probably he didn't want to do Pythagoras in between. And the point is that at some point during the battle, that rulebook would land on the battlefield,
on the table.
You know, and a couple of editions ago, having a rulebook on the battlefield, it meant so much. It meant, like, you know, you were measuring distances with that. So you know, you can do it in
absolutely.
You know, physical or non-physical. I think that whenever I do think in terms of cavalry bases, for example. Like the 2 inches of a cavalry base, that's usually a very salient thing that allows me to control stuff. But I don't know. I think that it can happen in both scenarios, like the physical and the non-physical one.
Yeah.
It might be interesting. For example, in this case, I can remove the bases from the hinterland terrain, actually. So that'd be actually. Let me see if can I do this right away.
I mean, you can.
Look at that!
There we go. So you can do it. However, you kind of need it in, don't you?
Yeah.
So I guess you'd have to have it in to start off with, take it off, and then if something came close to the forest, then you'd redo it. So that's quite cool. That's quite a cool feature on TTS that can do that, actually. So you can take away. But it is a skill as well, right? We're saying about how you can use things and things. That's a skill in itself.
Yeah.
And that can be a part of the no measuring game. And it was in 7th edition of certain games. So and that's not something you want to criticize people on. It's just something, I guess some people are better at it than others, like all sorts of things. But yeah. So I don't know whether. I don't necessarily mean it in a bad way. I just mean it that some people are better genuinely at doing estimates than others.
Yeah, it is true that it depends on your eyes, and you know, in some cases it might be even a bit discriminating if you want to push it that far, because some people cannot be expected to have the same.
Yeah, I guess what if you go second, you have a slight advantage because we saw I moved up.
Right, with the shooting and the spell casting,
So
yeah, that's true.
So perhaps.
That's a nice.
Because you have to measure at some point, don't you?
Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice thing to have in mind. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So, I mean, where would you? I mean.
Oh, right at the top, baby.
I personally would organize things kind of like this.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I'm maybe, I mean, it's like no plans and no statistics. They're conditional on the audience. So, you know, in some cases it might be nice. No pre-measuring. I would be okay if somebody said don't do that, but probably no boxes and no double dipping. I think that this can be implemented fairly easily for everything, but in terms of what changing the game and making it like snappier, the no pre-measuring, changed a lot.
Yeah. No, it's great. No, I like all of them. They all have different aspects, especially if you're gonna have 2 or 3 at a time, and it's just another thing. And like you've labelled the bag, right? It's a chill bag. It could have been beer and pretzel bag, It's just that sort of.
So actually, something that I have in mind for the next game. So very very last thing to see if you agree with this potential way of playing would be that you just roll 1 die, and at the beginning of the game, so we have this 6 7 tokens in here. So I'm gonna roll 1 die, and this die is gonna say it's 1. Huh? And I roll a 1, and that means, okay, so this game we are going to play with right-click, order, random order, and then get 1 out, no plans. And if you make plans, then you get penalties for that. And you just keep in mind that this is one different way of playing the game. Yeah.
So, interesting, I know we sort of jokingly said 3 strikes you're out. What are the penalties?
So, in basic Essence of War, you win if you have more units in the center, right? So basic penalty might be if it's a draw, you lose.
Sure. If you've done more strikes, whatever. Yeah.
That seems like the easiest way of imposing a penalty. The other one might be like 3 strikes mean that you have 1 fewer unit counting for scoring purposes, for example. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and I quite like the draw you lose. I like that as a thing because I'd say as you go on, the more times you play Essence, the draw becomes more often. I would say. I don't know. I have no stats to back that up in any way, shape, or form. But that's what I would. My opinion on it would be. But so having that as a added in, and someone, if you do more of the strikes, then you lose the draw. I quite like.
It's also because it plays out at the end, but you keep it in mind, you see it coming, so it's a nice effect for that one. An alternative might be dice rerolls. You might say every time the opponent does something, you can reroll 1 die that you haven't rerolled already. So you use that as a free reroll, which is very powerful, which is incredibly discouraging from making the mistake. So this would probably be the first things that come to mind, I would say. Rerolls and breaking up the draws and sheer points out. Yeah. But otherwise, it can just be like a fun thing so that you can tease and taunt your fellow player because they've made a mistake, and just for But it is right, like Kalkatin was saying, that there's different things of relating to all of these individual measure, so who knows which ones are going.
Yeah, that's it. And in the end of the day, just have a chill game, regardless, right?
Look at that.
You don't need someone to tell you to be chilled. Just be chilled.
Yeah, right. That should be the default mode. You know, that's the we shouldn't have to put it into the rule book. But I see why Carl would say that. That makes sense. Sending a message. Nice. Well, thanks a lot for the insight, the advice, the chat, the banter, the discussion, the comments in the chat. The game itself was a lot of fun. It could have changed by the very last turn, and once more. But yeah, I made a lot of stupid mistakes, so there's stuff for me to learn in here as well. Thanks again, man.
No, really fun. Thank you very much for having me on, and yeah, love all this stuff. And yeah, if anybody is watching this, I guess afterwards, please put all comments and all that jazz, and we'll pass them back on to the Essence War team, and yeah, feed that back in and do that as much as possible.
Brilliant. Thank you, man. See you next time. I'll follow your channel, Proxy Table Gaming channel. Check out all the coverage for the ETC from the White Isles.
Yeah, thank you. It should be. I'm very excited for it.
Nice. Cool. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, see you later.